Go, we're live. All right. Welcome to this first edition of Ricky and Young's Locker. Uh, welcome in, Young. How are you doing tonight, man? You there?
How about yourself?
Oh,
Yeah, can you hear me?
oh yeah. I cut out for a sec.
I say I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Excited to get this playoff started. Um,
Yeah,
excited to see these matchups. I see you're just barely on the outside this year, but you had a pretty good season.
yeah, we had a decent looking for a quarterback here in the future as we have two blind guys in our quarterback rotation and a rookie who's 35 who just left the University of Georgia. So yeah, next season's it for us.
Yeah, I think it'll be good, especially with a new quarterback. Cousins
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
sold you. When we played each other, I could tell Cousins kind of sold you out a few times.
But I mean, good for whatever the fuck he was betting on when he was throwing them damn picks. So I mean, at least somebody made some goddamn money out of it.
Um, well, let's get
But
started. With this podcast, we're going to kind of be talking about some stat leaders, some of the award winners, and then moving on to playoff matchups and some of the tiebreakers that are still left to be decided. Um,
yeah,
all right. So we get started. Let's talk about some of the passing leaders. We got Trevor Lawrence up there. I'll pull up the stats right here. Um, we got Trevor Lawrence up there at the top. He balled out this year for Sire. Of
yeah,
course,
he
this is
definitely did.
first full season in the league. Some people already knew him. I think you did. I know BLD did. Everyone
Yeah,
said he was going to be solid. If I remember right, he got off to a little bit of a slow start, but once he
it was
figured
a
out the team and what
super
he
slow
wanted,
start.
he ended up figuring it out. I think he had three wide receivers with 1,000 yards, and I mean these stats for Lawrence are unreal. I mean, if this was real life,
Oh shit,
Trevor would
yeah,
be the MVP.
hands down. And to be completing 65% of your passes, um, and throwing that much is a lot.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good for
crazy.
any quarterback. I mean, Madden stats are not like real life. Like you said, he'd be a runaway. Um,
And
but what surprised me, to be honest with you, is how Danny's been able to be efficient with Anthony Richardson. I did not know he had 4,700 yards.
yeah, and look at the completion percentage, and that's with playing some
Yeah,
of the season with Weasel, if I remember right, because I think Weasel traded to him after a couple weeks this year.
yeah,
Um, so
66%.
And the whole joke was that Anthony Richardson had AIDS, that Weasel had given him AIDS.
Yeah.
So, so,
Yeah, so I don't know.
uh,
So Danny obviously gave him the Magic Johnson, so he's good to go over that.
um, yeah, and I think most of those picks were with Weasel too. I mean, I know Danny can have some turnovers here and there just because he throws the ball so much, but
Yeah,
54 touchdowns is unreal, and that doesn't even consider what he did with them running too.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. He had some. No, he had shit 30 interceptions with Danny.
Hmm.
But that's tough.
Uh,
That's
Pretty
tough, and
good.
and let's yeah, it's really good. And if we
Then,
let's move to the backs, and we
uh,
know where we're standing with Chubb.
yeah, look at
Um,
that 427 attempts.
I
That
don't
is
know how he still has any.
unreal.
He has no knees. There's no way he has any knees left. Like so,
He,
I, Jesus. I
he,
mean, I you know it's coming and you still can't stop it.
yeah, I mean, I actually lost to
That's what's
Sean
crazy.
this year. I could in a rain game. I couldn't stop Chubb. I had no answer, um, and I was run committing eight in the box, and it didn't matter. I had no answer for Chubb. I think he had like 400 yards rushing on me or something crazy.
Yeah, and that
Um,
defense you got is loaded, especially up
so,
front.
so yeah, exactly. So it was crazy facing him like that and just seeing it's Sean's whole offense. I mean, if he learns how to pass to complement
Uh
that,
huh.
he could be a real problem.
Yes. He's got a sleeper quarterback that he's hiding. Hale, who's gonna be a dude next year.
So we'll
Josh
see.
Jacobs was second in the league in
It,
rushing.
it kind of quietly too. Motherload is I don't know. Were you in the league much when Motherload was in it last year? I can't remember. Right?
No, last year I
Oh,
think the league lasted
yeah.
7 games,
Yes.
and
And
then
then
it just sort of.
Motherlode's been a part of the league for a while, and then he came in kind of late. He's
Mhm.
always a solid user on the cusp of the playoffs. Sometimes makes it, sometimes doesn't. But he balled out with Josh Jacobs for sure.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's that's elite.
mm,
Especially, it's wild and crazy. For me, being new, somewhat new to Madden,
mm.
you think speed is everything. Both these cats are what 92
Yeah,
overall speed or something like that. I
they're
mean,
low 90s.
you look at the top four. I mean, and I'm not even gonna. We laughed, joked about you freaking Kamara, and this bitch has 2,200 yards rushing.
Yeah, and he has 100 less carries than the top three guys too. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
and so he's averaging. I mean, damn near a first down every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, he really was
And
game
so,
changing for my offense.
yeah, and then for him to do that and have 1,000 receiving, bro, is pretty elite. And then if
So,
we move to the receivers,
yeah,
um, Dexter fucking James.
yeah. That and see when you look at his game played, 14 games played. He played like almost 200 less downs than Jamar Chase. Like that's insane.
And that's ignorant. I mean, that's insane. He missed that many games. And if you look at it, Dan has two of the top three receivers.
Yeah. And then his other rookie is also in the top three in receiving, so it's not like
Yeah.
it was just James.
Yeah, like I don't know how he does it. He does a super job of spreading the ball around, and making things happen
Yeah, he's got
and
that
making things
quarterback
happen.
whisperer moniker for a reason.
Yeah, listen, I mean that's huge to take Anthony Richardson, who had the die slow according to Weasel, and resurrect his life and career with two rookies as well. And shit, I mean, it doesn't get much. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean,
Yeah,
his shit, 37 touchdowns
37 and 14 games. How many
in
games is that
14
a
games.
touchdown?
He's averaging. I mean, hold on, let's do the math. If you look at that, he's
I
oh
mean,
shit.
171 yards a game. That's what he's he's averaging.
171 yards a game and pretty much three touchdowns every game. So you're
That is
guaranteed 21
insane.
points when he touches the field.
That is insane. Uh,
That's tough. That's tough to do. So I
and
mean, shout out to James and Danny for
I,
getting that done.
I'm curious to see what the stats would look like if it was a full season. I mean, we may be looking at 3K receiving yards
I mean, shit, easily.
with
What
like
he missed, what?
50 plus touchdowns.
Yeah, mm, three times 12. He's close, 49. So yeah,
For
50. 50
Jesus,
touchdowns and about 2,900 yards if he plays a full season.
that's insane.
So
And
that's insane, even for Madden, and for us to know it's coming and still can't do anything with the wasp route. It's a bit of a pain in the ass.
and then what's interesting with Danny too, before we move on from him, is the fact that Martinez and James are like two totally different types of receivers. Where James is kind of the
Very much so.
smaller, beat you with his speed and his route running, and then you got Martinez 6'5", put it up in the air, and he's gonna go get it. So,
He's gonna go get it.
yeah, to be able to do that with two different guys, two different types, is impressive because everyone's
And
got the type of receivers they like.
yeah, and what's wild? He uses Martinez more as a screen guy. He's his
Really?
screen receiver. Yeah, when he played,
Jeez.
he didn't run a whole lot downfield. It was the quick outs. Because Danny loves the whip route. So it was a whip route and the screen, and
Wow.
he killed me. So I mean, he's not using. He's got a hell of a fucking passing attack
And
and a
then
great game plan.
And then, of course, we got to talk about Jamar Chase with
Sorry.
Sarr before we move on to the defense. But
Yeah.
another unreal season. The thing is Sarr uses him as a runner too, with that wide receiver in the running back or the wide receiver in the
Yeah.
backfield formation, and
Yes.
it's just unreal. I think he has like 45 total touchdowns on the year or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Um,
But the thing that impressed me about this with Sarv is the fact that he did it with what's the dude's name? Dick
Cho,
Mickey.
it's like Cho
Joe
Dickey.
Joe Dickey or some shit. Like he did it with an
a,
Asian 65 overall dude. So I
Asian
mean to
out of
be
Harvard, out of
you know what I'm
Harvard.
saying? I mean he did it with the Jeremy Lin of NFL. So you get down like that and I mean you were able to go well at one point Sarv was what 2-4?
Yeah, he was, and he had to turn it around just because I think he brought in Cho Dickey and struggled, or maybe he had tried some other QBs and then found Cho Dickey and started using him and kind of turned it around with him.
Yeah.
And then Wilson came back, and it was his normal offense
And it was
again.
yeah, and then I mean that 7 seed. I mean to go from 2 and that
And
doing that to the 2 seed, excuse me, is insane.
and Cho Dickey also is still a top 10 QB in the voting for the best QB award. Cho Dickey's up there still, so
Yeah,
so.
so I mean he did his thing with that. All right, so defense. Let's look at defense.
You want to
Defense.
start with picks, or you want to? I mean, total tackles. We got
Total
Jordan
tackles
Brooks,
is Jordan Brooks. He had
122.
122. And
Let's see.
I mean, that's a hell of a fight season.
Yeah,
Taking
Jordan
tackle
Brooks was
losses.
solid for
I
me.
mean, he did really well. Let's take a look at picks.
All right, let's go.
He's Amy
Yeah, so
Weldon. A
there's my
second. Where'd you
guy.
get him?
I got
Where'd you
him in
get
the
him?
third round pick.
Third round, who is 21 interceptions and 65 tackles. So he's
Yeah,
not just he's doing it all over the field for
and
you.
he doesn't play every down either. He's only in my nickel formation.
Yeah, I realized that. I saw him flying everywhere. Like he was able to cover 2 people by himself quite a bit when we met.
So
That's super impressive. You got 5 picks on anybody else.
yeah, he balled out for me this year. I also user him a lot, so I think that also played a factor.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was
Huh.
huge for me this year.
You know what's not normal is well, it's cool to see is that the corners are leading. Normally, I mean, Madden, with the users, everybody's got their free safeties and strong safeties that have got most of the picks. So for you to
Yeah.
do this and you use him a lot in the slot when he's out there, so I mean that's elite.
And
That's
then
good shit on you and Irish.
yeah, Irish with Banks. So I played Irish twice, so I had to face Banks. And he is unreal. You
Yeah.
cannot you really can't beat him. I tried even
No.
with Gordon, that 99 speed guy. I thought, I might have a chance to just burn him, and still he couldn't beat him.
Come
And you
on, table.
look at his interception return yards, 380. So not only is he
Oh shit.
he's
Yeah.
dynamic. He's dynamic
Yeah.
after he gets the ball too.
Yeah, you're not catching,
So
and that led the league. That 380 led the league.
by a
That's
lot.
insane. Yeah, like
Um,
50 yards.
so
Really not a whole lot.
he balled out, and then of course
Yeah,
you see Mika Fitzpatrick and Justin Simmons was kind of surprised up here, being like 32 years old. But I guess
yeah.
that
Hey man, I mean, shit.
savvy vet up there for Nell.
Yeah, and you're still up in the top 10, top 5 picks is really good. Sacks.
Yeah, I guess we move over to sacks. Of course, there's your guy up there,
Hey,
Micah
Micah.
Parsons.
I hit
Yeah.
the button because that shit told me C.J. Henderson. I was like, what the fuck? But that, but we're good. Yeah, I mean, Mike. I mean, shit. I mean, good job, bud. But it didn't equate to winning plays. So
You know,
he only got 1 forced fumble and 17 sacks. You can't create. So
I mean that's true, but I feel like the danger is just even having him out there. It speeds up your timing, and it really affects what you want to do on the field when when Parsons is out there. Because
yeah,
once he sheds that block, he's at the quarterback in less than a second. So
yeah, he
um,
definitely moves.
I
Gary
think
is there too with 15 and a half.
yeah,
Wagner is a
yeah.
defensive
Wagner is impressive, and he's a rookie.
That's
Wagner
a
with the
hell of a
Titans
find. You
for
don't see,
Wolves.
I mean, Aaron Donald maybe one thing, but you don't see a whole lot of defensive tackles in the top of the league, And so
You
that's
got
good shit on Wolvie.
look like they pulled him out of the sticks or something. Look at that
Yeah,
guy.
6'4",
Looks nasty,
sixty
nasty.
seven. Yeah,
367. That's a big
he
old boy
he
right there.
belongs. Yeah, he's the Taylor Lewan of Wolvie's team, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, he,
Sean Gary
yeah,
got
Rashawn,
decent. That's
15 and a
good too.
half. He,
15 and a half sacks.
yeah, without him,
Yeah,
my defense doesn't go.
yeah. He's got a counterpart that's hard to deal with as well. Khalil Mack up here is too.
Yeah,
You know,
and
I saw when he took a couple of these old cats and didn't think they would last, to be honest with you. And Madden's done a really good job of making sure these older guys still give you some kind of value.
yeah, I'm kind of glad Madden shifted to that because it felt like in the past Maddens they kind of made them regress so fast. But when you got some of the young vets that are stars, they usually can last a while and still make plays. So I'm
Yeah,
kind of glad they didn't just let them fall off this year.
absolutely. You know, G Mac up here with the type of defense he runs because he brings a lot of pressure. What I am surprised at, though, you know what? I don't see a whole lot of Raiders with the much pressure as Danny brings or Saints players up here in
Yeah,
sack,
that is a
which
surprise,
is
especially with it being Chase
surprising.
Young. With him having with BLD having Chase Young, that was kind of shocking. Like I see Nolan Smith up here, which you would think he'd be higher up there, but he's got 10 and a
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
Um, let's see where Chase Young's at. Chase Young's only got 9.5 sacks. He
He
didn't
got
even get
nine
to
and a
10.
half. No,
Um,
but he's still a pain in the ass. Another one, a pain in the ass to deal with. And with shit, who's he got on the other side? Sweat.
oh, Sweat, yeah. So that and it's a
Yeah, I mean
problem.
yeah, that entire D line is ignorant, but
I
it's surprising.
I know the Commanders wish they were more of a problem in real life, but that's why they might be gone now.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
But
So let's take a look at the kicking and all that other shit is done. But let's look at some of these awards.
yeah, let's go look at that. Yeah, we looked at some of the big stats. Now, we'll mostly touch on the big awards here. And
Okay.
these are pretty much set now, I think. After most games have been played. So you're looking at your MVP right here, Jamar Chase. Um,
Yeah.
big season. I don't think anyone could argue with this one. With
No.
45 whatever total touchdowns, almost 3,000 total yards. Um, it's just an unreal year for Jamar
Yeah.
Chase. Um,
And then you've
and
got Alvin Kamara up there too. Now, I mean, I know he's a giant, but I mean, for you to have 3,100 all-purpose yards and 32 total touchdowns at the age he has, and especially again, I'm gonna keep saying it. I thought that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I swear to God. I was like, there's no way you just gave this motherfucker a
everyone
first.
was clowning me for that trade too. The whole chat couldn't
Yeah.
believe I gave him a first. I
I,
had I had a vision
mm,
for what Kamara could be in my offense. And I just felt like I had to go get him, and that was BLD's price. I probably could have tried to negotiate with him more, but he had him. I wanted him, and so we just made the deal. And I think right now it's looking like he was worth it. So
yes, I think that is definitely the deal of the century, as well as like this is I think the story of the league, simply because what he does for your offense, and then the weapons you have outside with Godwin and Gordon, make create. And you've definitely utilized him. He's been super, super, super utilized. I think that's really good shit. And then you've got Trevor Lawrence.
which in real life would be the MVP for the 49ers
Oh
if
yeah,
this wasn't Madden. Um, if this wasn't Madden, he would be the MVP of the league. But I
yeah.
mean, no argument with Chase getting it, of course. But
No,
Trevor
but I
Lawrence, the
mean,
year he had was just unreal.
yeah. I mean, but the reason I don't have a problem with Sarv and Chase, you got to think who was throwing him the damn ball for
That's
half
true.
the year.
Yeah.
For half the year,
Joe
you know what I'm
Dickey's throwing
saying?
him.
Like Joe Dickey's
And
throwing you the
whenever
ball. What was he? Is he up here for best QB? Let's look.
let's see, let's go look at
Zach
that just for
Wilson
the
is
fun of it.
second. Joe Dickey is
Dickey,
still
there
in
he is,
seventh,
seventh right
seventh
there,
in
out
the
of
AFC
Harvard.
for best QB. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, shit. Jamar Chase for the job he did with Joe Dickey throwing the football, you
Yeah.
can't be mad at all.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that Joe Dickey's still up here. I don't know if that's just to say the AFC doesn't have any good quarterbacks or if Joe Dickey was just that good while he was out here, because even the Jags got two guys up here as well.
Really?
9 and 10. Yeah, Jags got Max Dugan and Jared Goff up here, 9 and 10.
Oh, and Max
So
Dugan's fucking awful.
yeah,
So, so yeah,
hey,
that might be an AFC has no quarterbacks kind of
um,
deal.
but so those are some of the top three guys. Of course, we talked about Jacobs and James, both deserving to be in the
Yeah,
top five up here as well. Big numbers, and
absolutely.
we didn't hit too much on Kenneth Walker while we were talking about the stats, but him being on here is
No,
very legit too. He was
yeah,
huge for Brad. I actually gave him a hard time about drafting him as early as he did
I
in the
remember.
fantasy
I
draft, and
remember.
I guess I kind of have to eat my words on that one. He's really balled out for Brad, and he's really his whole offense for the most part. I
Yeah,
mean, because Kyler Murray sells him all the time, so.
Brad uses him well. Yeah, Kyler Murray so. I mean, him and Kirk Cousins, should be
Him and
roommates or do some shit. Fucking assholes. But what is surprising to me though is that Nick Chubb with 2,600 rushing yards is fifth, and Walker and Gibbs are above him for offensive player of the year in
Yeah.
the AFC.
I don't know what plays a factor in that. I know Chubb's not really used in the passing game. Maybe Walker has a little more receiving yards or something. I know Wolvie
Yeah,
too doesn't pass as much. Sean and Wolvie both rely more on the run, so it
yeah,
might just be because they're not really utilized as much in the past. But I agree, it is kind of surprising that Walker's this much higher than Chubb. Maybe also having like
yeah,
500 rushing attempts too. Like, oh, well, no
yeah,
wonder he has that many yards.
yeah. So
Um,
maybe it's what I'm saying, almost like he's cutting his nose off to spite himself with
yeah,
numbers.
exactly,
So
exactly.
that's
But shout out to Chubb's durability for real. I
you
mean,
listen, with the way injuries have been in this league, I'm shocked that he has not missed any fucking time. But
that's
I would not be surprised if next year he has a season or career-ending injury in week one.
career ending. He just,
like, there's no way. Like,
imagine he
he just
retires after this year. He's like, I
or,
can't do this anymore, coach.
shit, he
just
might hit the Barry
retires.
Sanders. Like, he might just get me the fuck away from here because we're not winning shit, and I'm just getting beat the fuck up. I can't even get a goddamn player of the year. Like, think about it. He's not getting shit for this. Like, if you think about it real hard, Nick, like, you're not getting a fucking thing.
Not
Like,
even top five. Not even.
no, you're not top five in anything. So, I mean, I don't even think he's best running back. He's not even the best running back in the
Oh, is
AFC
he
on this
not?
according.
Let me go
No,
look at that.
it's Kenneth Walker.
Shit. So yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
Nick might as well
He's
fucking
got to
retire.
be pissed. He's got to
Yeah,
be pissed.
he's got to join the Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson club. Like, 'cause that's fucking
Um,
awful.
Let's
That's fucking awful.
while we're over in the AFC, let's go. We might see some similar names here, of course, but offensive
Yeah,
player of the year. Um, and of course, we got our two guys up here, James and Chase.
and
Just
both
unreal.
deserving.
Yeah, both deserving. I mean, Chase is probably going to clean up every award possible that he can win, which is no
Yeah,
surprise.
but again, I
Um,
think he's doing more with less.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
even, I mean, yes, ma'am, but even Zach Wilson isn't the most accurate. I mean, obviously it's Madden, but shit, yeah, Jamar
But
Chase running,
just he just
receiving,
yeah, he's
does
just
everything.
the ultimate player in Sarv's offense. And then, of
Yeah,
course, James, we'll see what he does next year with the full season. We might see him take over that spot from Chase with the
yeah,
full slate of games. Then we got Gibbs here, Walker. Of course, Gibbs we didn't touch on too much because he was a little lower than I expected in rushing
yeah.
yards, but he's unreal too. And Wolvie,
Now, how much time did he miss though?
oh, that's true. We never looked at that. He might have gotten hurt. Did he get hurt?
I think he got hurt.
Oh,
I'll
well,
go look.
if that's the case, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think he got hurt. So I mean,
Let's see.
no, he played all 17.
Yeah, just maybe Wolvie's throwing the ball a little more than he usually does or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Wolvie's always a problem on the ground. I mean, that's what he's known
yeah.
for. Especially with that
Mr.
stretch looky
Look,
right
Jesus.
there. Everyone knows it too.
and you still can't stop it.
Dude, I'll just never forget. I even like playing him one time, maybe the Madden before last. I'm even like trying to bring guys around the outside. I know it's coming, and somehow he still gets the blocks. I don't know how he does
Yeah,
it. I really don't.
him and Nell have really good ability to like use the cuts and good stick skills when it comes to the controller. Pause.
And then,
Um, but you know, it does. Like I mean, I remember playing against both of them last season and asking Nell, like, "Hey, look, what the hell did you just press to make him cut like that?" Like, it's super impressive.
and they probably don't even know.
Um,
They're probably like, I can't. I'm just doing what I normally
he was
do.
like,
Like,
"It's L1 or L2 or something like that." I don't know. Like, yeah, all right. Like, I know your black ass ain't gonna tell me anyway, but shit, like that. Like,
and
they
you
both
got,
very good running the ball.
and then there's our guy Nick Chubb again, only fifth. So
Yeah,
again, not even getting the love he deserves.
yeah, but because again, I mean, shit, you run. That's all you do.
It's true. I mean, you're
So,
kind of devaluing him by how much he's used almost.
yeah,
You
yeah.
want
Which
to
is
go over to NFC after we talk about this, or you want to switch over
yeah.
to?
We can go to let's go to the NFC really quick and look at the offensive player of
All
the
right,
year. And
there
shit,
he is,
as
right
much
there.
as I like, again, it's insane because you traded for a 30-year-old person. We were all like, yeah, right.
And then,
Why are you yelling?
and now he's gonna be an X
Now
factor.
he's, yeah,
That's what I
and the
needed too.
offensive player of the year at 30. Like that's insane. And again, like the speed issue isn't really a factor with them
Yeah.
two.
He's
If you
a
look at
he's
the
a
top two,
yeah, he's a 92 speed back, but he's got 97 acceleration because I got the
yeah,
3 boost for that. And the thing with Kamara that I don't know how it works in the game or why he does it, but he just comes out cut like he's so patient. I don't even know. I don't even feel like I do it. Like somehow the blocks always get out in front, and then I just hit R2, and it's almost like he gets faster. Like I don't know.
bro, like it was stuff that the game, like even like when we played, like I thought the game was glitching. I was like, I looked at my son, I was like, look, do you see this? He was like, he's really good. I was like, yeah, no shit. Like you broke. Like I don't know how many tackles he. I don't think I ever took him down on the first touch. Like I think he broke at one point. He broke a couple of tackles in the backfield and still got like a 5 yard gain. Like dude is impressive, and the way you've been able to utilize him in your offense is super impressive. Again, especially after we talked so much shit about you making a dumbass fucking trade.
I had
And
to make it worth it after that.
yeah, oh, you did it. You shut everybody the fuck up.
Um,
Again, and Josh Jacobs,
Jacobs
I don't. I mean,
just quietly
again, I
having
don't
one of the
really.
best
Yeah,
years.
and I guess because Motherlode's not really active as much in the chat, and I don't know, but I mean, he to see Josh Jacobs up here. Tony Pollard is
Oh,
definitely a usual
and
suspect.
and the way
But
BLD uses them too is just unreal. And once he gets to the outside, that's a guaranteed 20-yard gain almost
touchdown.
every time. Yeah, or a touchdown.
And yeah, and the thing that kills me with this is he's Blood's very patient in football,
He is.
which it's a pain in the ass,
You
but he's
know,
super patient.
the way he plays is almost like he waits for you, and everything he does, whether it's on offense, defense, and the whole thing, he's waiting on you to make the
To
mistake or
make a
make the
mistake,
move.
yes,
And then once
he
you
is.
do, he's gonna capitalize. Like you make that mistake, and it's a touchdown or it's a turnover, and then you look up and you're down 14 to 21, and then
Yeah,
you're like, what the fuck do I do now? Um,
nothing. This
yeah.
bitch is the goddamn white Floyd Mayweather of fucking Madden. Just defensive as shit. Like, but that's how you win ball games.
He's
That's
gonna
how you win
make you
ball games.
he's gonna make you beat yourself and then capitalize.
Yeah, and that's tough. And that's tough. And even I mean, well, top
What's
five.
got to talk about I can't even pronounce his fucking name. Zach's running back,
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet. There you go, Charbonnet.
Yeah,
Uh, just another running back no one really talked about up here at number 4.
yeah.
Had a really solid year.
That was pretty solid. And then again, the Waddle is a
Yeah.
suspect.
And
Um,
at chain for you too, always a deadly weapon. Same thing with Pollard, where once he gets to the outside, it could easily be 6. So
yeah, his black ass ain't doing enough. So we moving on. Um, and then we look at the defensive player of the year. You got a rookie. I can't believe this shit. A second round rookie
Not
who was going to
third,
be in
third.
third round
Yeah.
rookie. Wait, so
You,
the other guy was a second, and
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
third
The
round
the
rookie.
the X Factor's the second rounder, and Weldon's the third round pick.
Oh my God. Well, at least picks have value, so it'll be
Exactly.
something else for Sarv to be pissed off about. Don't yell at me in the
Yeah,
chat. I'm just saying
he's,
you're
he's
always
gonna
sort of
come in
angry
there
and
right
aggravated.
after this.
Yeah.
Salty Sarv.
Um, but nah, like I mean, picks have value. Like that. I mean, and that goes to show you that now picks definitely have a lot more value, and your guy can come in and win Defensive Player of the Year, not
Yeah, for
rookie,
sure.
but Defensive Player of the Year for an entire conference.
Exactly.
So we can definitely use, what I'm saying, value those picks more. Banks is,
Banks.
again, a problem because he's long and he's fast, and Irish does a really good job putting him in places to make plays.
Yeah, exactly. I think Irish is one of those too where he's easily could be a playoff team easily. I just think I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel like he forces the ball a little too much in the passing game, and then he just those turnovers he has sometimes
I,
he's our killer. I saw it
yeah,
versus Charlie
Irish,
today too.
yeah, he's not
Yeah,
patient. Like,
he
he's very big play, like, needed if he doesn't, I think the closer the game, the more he presses,
I agree with that. Like even with
even at
the
the beginning.
I was watching him and Charlie play today because that was a big game.
Yeah.
And because if Charlie loses, he's basically out. Melt secured the 7 seed. Your game would have kind of become irrelevant, but we'll talk about that a little more later. But there was a big play where he had the ball in the red zone or something. I think he was up by like three, and he did a play action bootleg
Hmm.
and forced the ball in double coverage and threw a pick, and that basically changed the whole game. And Charlie ended up winning because of it. So.
Yeah. See, and he moved the ball between the 20s against me. Great. He got in the red zone and literally threw two picks, forcing it.
So
So he's got to work on that. Listen, this Fred Warner shit. Again, Madden is really giving value to older motherfuckers because when Dog drafted this son bitch at 9, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
and Fred Warner is a dog in Madden. Like he really is. I mean, he's got those nice abilities. He's got that. I mean, we talk about play recognition being a thing for Fred Warner. It definitely is in this
Yeah,
game. I
yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
almost like
absolutely. He's
sometimes
everywhere.
he knows the play better than you know it when you come out the huddle. So, um, very deserving. When I played Cody, Fred Warner was a problem. I think he had one or two picks. And I actually lost to Cody as well. Him and Sean are my two losses. So I beat motherfuckers like BLD and GMAC this year, and then lose to Cody and Sean. So I don't know. Weird year for the Giants
Shout
in
out
that
to the
regard.
bums. Shout out to the bums.
um,
Giving L's. That's
and
what we need to do as bums.
we'll see the Falcons in the playoffs this year. So that'll
Yeah.
be a good. It's good to see Fred Warner in the playoffs. So we'll talk about that again a little more later.
I mean, since we're talking about playoffs, let's get to it. I think we've been over the two major awards in each
Uh,
conference, right? Have we
that's
talked
true.
about the AFC
Oh
Defensive
yeah, we
Player of
got
the
to go
Year?
to AFC, yeah, AFC, and then we'll head out. So I'll look at let's talk about
Shit.
old hats
Oh,
again.
yeah. Look at
Old
all
heads. I
three.
mean, right there,
All three.
Fitzpatrick, White, and Simmons all balling out.
So again, they've put a good value on being able to have like play recognition and not being blind. I've got a motherfucker that's fast as shit, but is blind
Yeah, you and
as
Caleb
a
Farley,
son
huh?
bitch. Caleb Farley is the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. Like this bitch is I mean, 6'2", run like the wind, and blind. Like,
Can't
I
cover for
mean,
shit. Out there looking
no, I
like
can't
Stevie
cover
Wonder.
nothing. Yeah, like Steve Wonder my ass. Like Steve Wonder might be in the fucking cover too better than this bitch. Like Caleb Farley is an asshole, and I hope I don't even know. Like he's on the block. Like PSA, he's on the block. Give me a rounder like you got. But no, like the AFC defensive players, again, they're older guys, man, and so I mean that's huge.
And I actually haven't seen. I know Nell. I've known him, seen him in other leagues. I know he's a good player, but I didn't see him this year at all. So I just know
Yeah,
he's I don't.
he's
So
solid.
I don't know if because BLD beat him, if he's going to be the number one seed or the sixth seed, or the fifth seed. I mean, Danny might be the number one seed now because of that loss to BLD.
Wouldn't it just happen?
Yeah, that happened today.
Oh shit.
So, but Simmons very deserving with the year he had, those picks, all those
Yeah,
tackles. So those are your award winners right there. All these are pretty much cemented. So congratulations to those guys. Big years for them. But let's go to the most important part of this podcast now. Right here, we're talking about the playoffs. The best time of the year for a lot of us, and even if you're not in it, they're always fun to watch. See the drama
absolutely.
unfold. It just gives you something to look forward to next year as well, where you're like, you know what, and this is really is true with this league, and this is what one of the, other than the support, and we talk a lot of shit in the chat, but the community of this league, I think, is one of the best. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I also think, we have a lot of guys. We have some usual suspects, but you see people come in and out of playoff spots in this league as well. Um,
Absolutely.
so I think, like you or another contenders, Irish. We got I don't know as many in the AFC, but anyone can make it. So
Yeah. Well, I think the AFC's pretty loaded. I think
it is.
most of the spots from the that are open are going to be 6 and 7. And that's just because this league has been going for years, so it's going to be tough to climb that mountain. But I think this year and even last year is probably one of the most diverse in terms of talent that you
Yeah,
would see. And so
I
I think
agree.
that's pretty neat that you had a mix of some fairly new users and the usual suspects, but it doesn't feel like it's a
Yeah, it feels like there could be, you see different guys like you got Cody in here this year, Falcons at the 5 seed taking over for Dog. Of course, we all miss Dog a little bit. I know panel
pink
might
booty
say,
bitch.
yeah, pink. Panel might say otherwise with some of the stuff that went on this year. Hopefully at some point she's
You
able
can
to
come
figure
back.
it out and come back, but a little less angry uh, about the pink booty bitches, but Cody took over and did a great job for him this year. I think he'd actually be one of my surprise teams being up here at 5 with the 5 seed,
Hmm.
especially. I mean, in a tough division. I mean, with you, BLD, and I mean Bacon. Whether he's, I mean, I know I think he's fourth in the division this year, but he's still a great user.
Yeah,
Just got
he's
some,
injuries have killed him the last 2 seasons.
and Deshaun Watson just can't stay out of the massage parlor, so
Nah.
it just head not in the game in the field, so just
If it's
selling
in the
them every
game,
time. Just a different game.
yeah, just different game, but
Um,
it's in the game.
um, so the
So,
two, I think these are pretty much cemented. I think
hmm
we might see the one seed shift from Nell to
yeah,
Danny, and Danny slotted. I mean, Nell slot into the 5 seed versus Brad at 4 in that terrible AFC East division.
that's a steep price to pay. So you're talking about getting a bye, getting an extra week to go into the 5 seed and having to go to Buffalo. Um,
Exactly. And
that's looking like a tough one.
and on top of it, I mean, the one thing I will say is, and it changes who your matchup could be too. I mean, the AFC is loaded, so if you're facing a playoff team in the AFC, I don't know if it really matters what seed you are though.
Yeah,
Because I mean, what you're either getting Sarv or you're getting Mayo or you're getting Tillman or Danny. So I mean, or Nell. Like it's any of those guys
yeah,
could beat each other
yeah.
on any given day.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a hard one to call. So, we don't know who's got the 1 seed, but if we look at the 2 and the 7, do we know who's in the 7 spot? We know Sarv is cemented solely in the
So
right.
I think the 7 spot is wide open because T Money lost, and no, the 7 seed is actually, so the AFC is kind of top heavy, because the 7 seed in the AFC is going to be an 8 and 9 team. Um,
Mm,
Now that could be, I guess, because they beat up on each other. When I look at the remaining games, T Money's out. He's no longer the 7 seed.
oh,
So that looks
wow.
like it's gonna be between the winner of Jags. Patriots, where we have Mickey missing in action. I don't know where he's been. Don't know why he hasn't been playing. But even after missing like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, he still has a chance to make the playoffs in that terrible AFC least division.
I
With
mean, as long as he's got an actual reason, life happens.
It does. It does. The problem with Mickey, I think, and people have said, is just the communication part. But
Very
he was
true.
in the Super Bowl last year, so you don't really want to lose a user like that.
Yeah, no.
Um, so hopefully they can get that figured out and he stays in the league. But it's looking like if nothing happens here, especially I think if this game's simmed or a forced win for the Jags, I think it's done. I
Yeah.
think I
So
think
the
he's
monkey will be
probably
in.
yeah, but Wolvie has a chance. I'm not sure how those tiebreakers work. Let me go check out the standings because Wolvie's 8 and 9 as well. So Wolvie may make the playoffs. Um, and again, he's 8 and 9, but without running game, you never know. It's just like when you saw
Yeah.
that Marshawn Lynch run with the Seahawks versus the Saints that one year. Um,
Defense travels too, bro. And Wolfie plays decent defense. Very
let's
good
see.
defense. I won't say defense.
So Wolvie is 8 and 9. The Jets are eliminated. They're 7 and 10. I thought Weasel would be better this year. I actually picked him to win the AFC East, but he let me down. Um, I thought he'd win it. So let's see. Wolvie. I don't know how they do the tiebreakers. They're both 1 and 5 in their divisions. Wolvie and Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Both 1 and 5 in their divisions. I don't know if they've played each other this year. I'm not sure about that. That might be the decider. If
And they both got 4 AFC.
well, Wolvie beat up on the
Mm,
NFC. Wolvie's 4 and 1
yeah.
versus the NFC.
Yeah, beat ass.
Maybe the
That's
AFC
gonna
is
be a good
better.
one.
Um,
AFC's pretty loaded.
it
You gotta
really
think
is.
Wolves, you know, a perennial, playoff team,
It
and
is
he's fighting at the bottom.
fighting for that
Now,
seventh
obviously, you're
seed.
gonna have one shitty division. I mean, right now, Weasel's still recovering from AIDS,
That,
and that division is ass.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, Brad's winning it at 9and 8, and then you got
yeah, but Mickey, I guess because he's missing. But then what is Red? Wait, who the hell's the
Red.
Dolphins?
Red left the league. He's gone. He
And
left a while ago.
and took
Uh,
everybody in Miami with him. Fuck.
yeah, so Miami, and then the guy that took over kind of is took the team apart and is building it the way he wants. So that's where I actually
Ah,
got
fuck.
that safety Hill from I was showing you earlier. He
Yeah, yeah,
traded
yeah.
him to me. So
Fuck. God, do you have a job or something? How do you like? I need to be. I need to get on some of
uh,
these trade talks. My trade talks don't go like that.
it just I don't know. I got lucky this year. Usually it don't go that way for me either, but it's
Yeah.
definitely
All right.
so
So, so
it's
Wolfie has a chance to be the 7 in
yeah, it's
SAR. I think
between
Wolfie and
Wolvie and Monkey.
Monkey,
But
and I mean, I don't know. Are the Jags even the Jag? I would, this is nothing against Monkey being the user, but I mean, it's not going to be a damn game
I
because the
would say,
Jags are terrible.
yeah,
Are
I
they still
think
the oldest team in the league?
I think he's made some moves. I think they are still pretty old now. He does have Saquon Barkley.
Oh, then he
Um,
has a chance.
but I will say with where his team is at compared to
Just
Wolvie's, especially with that DT that Wolvie has and
yeah,
some other pieces, I
yeah,
think
with the pieces.
Wolvie's better suited to make a run if they're if that were to happen. Oh, so Wolvie did face the Jags in week 3. Now, I think this was prior to Monkey taking over the team, but he won
Hmm.
45-20.
Oh well,
So I
then
think
that'll
he's got
go.
the division. Oh
Then
yeah,
he's in there.
they're in the same division actually. What am I right? Aren't they? No, Jags and Titans. No, they're not. Are they?
Mm, I don't know
Shit, I'm
about
having a brain.
NFL
Oh, they are in
jargon.
the same division. Shit, they are.
So who's winning it?
Well then Wolvie. This is I think Monkey did take over at this point, and Monkey beat him 20, 28-22. So they're tied
So
in the
then
division as well. So I don't know what the tiebreaker comes down to.
division wins, division losses. They both have
They're
their one. that.
5. So yeah, I
Jesus
don't know.
Christ.
That might just be like whatever Madden decides.
It would have to be
Yeah.
AFC wins and AFC losses. Because
And
think
we're
about it, if Monkey wins this one, it'll be a 5 AFC wins and
oh, you're right.
Titans 4.
So then
So
I think Monkey would get it then.
yeah, but again,
Imagine.
with the pieces, you're looking at the fucking Jacksonville Giants. You know what I'm saying? They might as
Yeah.
well with Saquon going at that bitch for no reason. Like,
Just hope Saquon can somehow carry that offense on his back.
yeah, that'd be a tough one with Sarv. I mean, because what's wild too, I haven't seen anybody in the league the way Sarv plays defense. Excuse me, with that 3 front
Yeah,
is
it's interesting.
effective, and it's really interesting to watch because I've seen people come out
You
in
know,
24 personnel.
Sarv has a unique play style, but it works for him.
Yeah,
It is. He plays a little different. I think that's why he's so tough to beat because he just doesn't play like everyone else. It's not very orthodox, but he always finds a way to make it work for him. So I think that's why he's so tough to really plan for and to face.
yeah. And,
Um,
and so that'll be a good one in the first round. I mean, if Monkey gets in there, prayers up, Chief. But if Titans get in there, we might have a decent game.
them
The 3 and the 6.
The 3 and the 6, so that is a game this week. I don't know when they're playing, but I think it could decide the division because if Mayo wins or Doughboy, um, they would be tied. They'd have the same record. They'd both be 12-5. So, and while we're talking about them, there's also the 7th seed is up for grabs in the NFC. And Charlie, if he had lost, we wouldn't even be talking about it. I think Melt would be in. But because Charlie won, I think Melt has to beat you. So your game is big.
Mm,
If you could play spoiler.
I will try. I will damn sure try. Gotta help fight
Let's
defense.
let's go check out the
Like last
AFC
season.
South division. So I mean, obviously Texans and Colts are both in the playoffs. They'll both be facing each other round 1. But it could make a difference if you have to go to. I mean, they're both. I think they're both indoors. So,
Yes,
but
they'll be fine.
it does make a difference though with that momentum bar. If you're the home team or the away team, for sure, you get that extra
Yeah.
little perk. So,
Then
oh
you
yes.
think you gotta they get rubber match.
So basically,
Like
this would be a dead tie if the Colts finds a way to beat Tillman
yeah.
because
And
they would both be 5-1 in the division, and they would both have the same amount of AFC wins and losses. So, I mean, at that point, what does it come down
so
to?
would it just flip
Yeah,
home field in a way? I mean,
yeah,
either way,
because
you gotta think. I mean, if they play each other again, that's a rubber match. And who won? Did Tim win the first one or Mayo?
Tillman won the first one. Tillman is
Beating
undefeated in the
somebody,
division.
beating some shit. Normally, beating somebody 3 times is a problem, but it don't seem like Mayo is gonna have that issue with Tillman.
This,
So, oof.
I mean, and both users are very good. I actually haven't had the chance to play Mayo, I don't think, or at least this Madden. I
Yeah.
played Tillman this year, and I beat him by like 1 score. Came down to the last drive, and he was in the red zone and threw a pick. But so we all know about Tillman, one of the best
Yeah,
users in this
dude,
league. So just unreal. Um,
freaking dude. Now, this 4 and 5 is gonna be interesting because if Nell,
I think Nell's
well,
the 5th seed. I'm 99% sure he's the 5th seed. So
I
that's
mean,
going to be Nell versus Brad. And I mean, I just don't think he has a shot versus Nell. I'm just going to be honest.
I don't
Um,
either.
Brad's a good year for him, but let's be honest. The only reason why he's in the playoffs is because he's in that division.
Yeah,
Um,
and I mean, and Mickey or whatever he's got going on. I mean, I hope it's nothing serious. I mean, but if he's playing in other leagues, I don't think it can be that serious.
yeah, he's playing in other leagues. I know that for sure. But that's a story for
Beneficiary.
another time.
So Brad is a beneficiary of HIV virus. Um,
So I mean, Brad has made some runs though. I mean, while I don't think he has a chance, I do have to give Brad some credit. In past Maddens, he's been in the AFC Championship when we've thought that he didn't have a chance. So it's not like Brad can't do it. I just
No, but
don't
it's his
see it
personnel.
happening.
We know
Yes,
that
exactly.
Kyler's gonna fuck him at some point in that game.
And
Brad's gonna go to who the fuck is his backup? Is it
fuck,
Andy
I don't even
Dalton
know.
or some? It's somebody
Some
old fuck.
bullshit. Yeah, some bullshit. Some
At some
scrub.
point, Kyle's gonna fuck him, and it's gonna piss Brad off, and he's gonna lose
He's
it.
gonna he's gonna smash
And
a
so,
Coke can. He's gonna take out
hmm
Kyler Murray. He's gonna ask his mom for the meatloaf
I mean,
and down in the
mm,
basement. And
yeah. You know what I mean, well, listen, as long as he don't put a hole in the wall, it's good with me. Bitch, if you in my house, you gonna pay for that shit. Right now.
uh,
Um, so I think that'll be a good. I think that'll be a
um,
good one. Like,
you know,
so let me ask you a question.
yeah.
If with Nels, who's the one seed?
So
Is
the one
Danny?
seed is Danny. Danny is the one seed. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sorry, have no shot.
I don't. I let's see the records. Maybe it could be
Like, how's
Sarv,
that work?
but
And if he went 2-4 to fucking one seed,
that would be crazy.
that's crazy.
Let's see. So Sarv's record is where is he? I'm trying to find him on the schedule thing.
Nope, he's 13-4.
Oh
So
no,
Danny got it.
Danny got it. Yeah, Danny secured it. Um,
Mm.
so that'll be interesting. So the AFC is pretty much set. Let's go with and if Mickey just shows up out of nowhere to play Monkey and just beats him, then his playoff chances that'd be fucked up, but it'd be kind of funny.
It'd be fucking hilarious. I would
But
add everyone just to wake Monkey up for that shit.
let's uh let's go with Jags getting the 7 seed at this point, because
Yeah,
I think he does end up getting it. Now it could be Wolvie or Jags, but I think that's pretty much. I think we see the same result. It's always easy to
yeah.
pick the higher seed, but you're the 7 seed for a reason, and you're going
I think
against one of
Wolfie
the.
has a chance.
He would have a slight chance probably, um, but I just don't. I don't see anyone beating Sarv, and I think Wolvie's just too one-dimensional to 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 beat him.
Yeah, but Wolfie might have his signs.
Oh, that's true. Michigan guy.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing him
So,
talk about that in the chat today was hilarious. Just
yeah.
going off.
Hey, so I mean, at this point, he might as well both of them motherfuckers should show each other the goddamn plays and see how it works out for either one of them. This is
I
no goddamn
heard
benefit.
I heard Wolvie is scouting Bengals practices right now just in case. So
No need. Sarv said it's not a, a
not a
benefit,
problem.
so they're both going to show
They're gonna get
each
on the
other's
mic.
playbook as they go. Hmm.
Sar's gonna tell him exactly what's coming before it happens.
No benefit to either one of them. No. All
No, it
right.
doesn't
So the
make a
seventh seed
difference.
in the NFC is either Melt
Mel,
or Charlie.
yes, and you are the person who can end Melt's playoff hopes. Um,
Well, I've got a blind quarterback and a blind cornerback. I ain't ending shit.
well, no,
We've
I
already
will.
packed it in.
I will say we've already picked it in. You never know. Michael Parsons get his second strip sack of the year,
Hey, okay.
and win the game for you. You know, you never know. Get sack number
I'm holding.
18.
No, we'll pass. We're starting all bums because I'm not paying any extra money for games played check. So
Okay.
you bitches, yeah, you bitches are gonna miss
They're not
money
even
milestones fucking with me.
they're not even fucking dressing out.
Nope.
They're in street clothes out there in
Hmm.
sweats.
Matter of fact, them bitches are already in Cancun. Like any chance you had to fucking get money off your contract for fucking milestones, you can fucking cancel, chief. I don't give a
Coach
fuck about
Young
you bitches.
Coach Young's already hit the golf course. He's not showing
Hmm.
up.
Nope. We hardballing it out. It
Um,
doesn't matter though who's in that 7 seed because, well, I will say, I think Bud and Charlie had an interesting game early
they
on,
did.
and so I think I would
If
like that matchup again, just because I
if
think there's a lot more to that. There's a
if
little
I'm
bit of animosity between them two.
there is, and if I'm being honest, I also think Charlie. I think Melt is a better user than Charlie, but I think Charlie, the way he plays his game and the way his team is set up, is has a better chance if they were between the two of them to beat BLD. Um, because
Well, it's
Melt,
gonna piss Blood off because he takes so long to call plays.
Oh my God, he does. He got 2 delay of game penalties again versus Irish.
I get them all the time.
This,
So Charlie, I'm with you. We old. We
that's
gonna stick
the
together. I'm
the
with you.
delay of game king right there. He averages 2 a game.
That many, but Charlie does well with those old ass dudes though.
Uh,
Like he's
He does.
like
You
Keenan
know,
Allen and Cooper Cup are fucking
that
difficult.
that retirement home over there. He knows how to use them
Yeah,
though. They all cut it up together.
difficult.
Him and Uncle Charles. Um,
Difficult.
but
Now this
I
3-6 matchup. What do you think about it?
so that's an interesting one because Beast Mode is known for his defense in the 6 seed, but and Sire's known for his passing game, and especially saw what we did with Trevor Lawrence. So that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Um, I think if I really had to guess, I would say that he overmatches Beast Mode and beats him, just outscores him because that's the one thing with beast mode though is his offense is usually a little lacking, but his defense is stout. So if it's a low scoring game, if he can somehow stop his passing game, I think he would have a slight chance. And, they're division opponents, so they kind of know each other. Played 2 games this year, um,
Yeah. I think that makes
so
all the difference.
it definitely can. So I think Sire wins. But especially if Madden throws you one of those games too, where none of your guys are getting open, it's not really going your way. I could definitely see
Yeah.
Beast Mode finding a way to win, but at the end of the day, I just think his offense overpowers Beast Mode's, and he moves on. What about you? What
Okay.
do you think?
I mean, we saw the Niners early on. I lost in the last like 30 seconds.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know beast mode, but I think if you're not used to playing Sire, it's a problem quick because he's so proficient. I'd say in that 10 to 15 yard range throwing the damn ball.
Yeah.
So he's definitely gonna be a problem. I think the Niners take that one too.
So if we go based off that, then that means we'd have a Saints 49ers matchup in the divisional round. And that's a big one right there. And BLD says that's the guy who scares him the most. Um, which
I think that's true, but his team isn't nearly where he needs it to be to see that Saints team.
That's true. I mean, especially that Saints defense.
Yeah. He
Um,
didn't have enough firepower on the outside because he's not going to scare anybody in that back end.
that's fair. But apparently he's good at motioning guys, kind of breaking coverages in that way from what has been said. I haven't faced him, I don't
He
know,
is.
but he's good at motioning guys and breaking those coverages. So if he
He
can
is.
do that versus BLD, the big thing again is, and this is what always scares me with people who pass a lot, is if you pass a lot versus BLD, you have to be efficient and you can't turn the ball over because if you turn the ball over, you're done.
Yeah.
This is the year, in my opinion, to if you're gonna beat BLD, is gonna have to be this year because of his quarterback play.
Hell
His
yeah.
quarterback is not to par, and he can say, oh, I have Malik Willis last year and all that, but this quarterback is worse than Malik Willis was. And Malik
Yeah,
Willis was
but
MVP and was way more
he
dynamic.
routinely takes 65 overall son bitches and makes them 72 superstar and X Factors.
And
I don't know how the fuck he does it.
I don't need. He's just so efficient. It's just unreal what he's able to do. I just think that. I mean, BLD's BLD. You can never bet against him. It's like betting against the Patriots when they had Brady. Um,
Yeah.
but at the same time, if there's going to be any year, in my opinion, that there's
You
another
think it's
someone
this
else
year?
in the NFC, it's got to be this year. Otherwise, I think we're looking to see the Saints in almost every Super Bowl is this cycle. But you
Yeah.
never know. Um, but again, always hard to bet against the Saints. So that's two. So we got the divisional round matchup there, which would mean the 4 and 5 seed between GMAC and the Falcons would decide who faces me in the 1 seed. Um, Now this is an interesting game as well. One guy we didn't talk about too much out of the stat line was Barnett, or Burnett, whatever his name is for GMAC, that rookie
Mm-hmm.
wide receiver. He is
Yes.
nasty. Um, and He's really changed his whole passing game. Will Levis had a huge year for him. Barnett had a huge, or Burnett, whatever his name is, had a huge year. The rookie wide receiver, um, and so this is going to be an interesting one because, like I said, Cody beat me. Cody's faced some tough opponents. You know, he's faced you. He's got to face BLD and that division twice a year. So it's not like he's not tested. He's seen guys like GMAC. Um,
Yeah, but GMAC, I would say GMAC and Danny probably have the most effective and Sai have the most effective passing games in this league.
I would agree.
And obviously, that's no disrespect to Blood and like that, but the efficiency at which they operate and throwing the fucking football is ignorant.
And I think BLD would agree with you too with that though.
So I
Just
don't
the,
know if Cody can deal with that.
that's
Like,
true.
I mean, and I don't know if he has the tools in the back end. Like, you remember, like last year when he got in there, he let go of McDuffie and all that speed and the way GMAC throws the football. You will need something. And the way he comes after you,
That's
that
true. His
line in Atlanta
defense,
is not holding it up.
and he's got Jordan Davis, who's a fucking stud.
Think about that, and think about who
And
we saw earlier in the sack lead with
that's true.
Chubb and Mac, and then
Dude,
Jordan Davis inside. Like, that's probably outside of the Saints, probably the toughest front, along with yours, in the damn game.
I think I would agree with that, and especially, we talked about the depth of the AFC, but I mean, having GMAC at a 4 seed also shows the depth in the AFC as well, just how competitive this league is. I
Yeah.
mean, fuck, you're not going to see a better 4 seed than GMAC. Like that's tough. You're like, oh, I got the 5th seed, gonna got a decent little matchup, got a chance, and you got fucking GMAC. Like that sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Um, so I would agree with you. I think we see the 2, the 3, and the 4 move on. What do you think
I
in the
think the same.
NFC?
I think the divisional matchups are going to be amazing.
Yeah, that would be BLD versus Sire, and then me versus GMAC, which was actually be a rematch of our divisional game last year, which was an all-time classic. Um, that was one of the craziest games I think I've ever played. One of the craziest games I think playoff games we've seen in this league, where it's just
That was
back
a good
and
one.
forth. And it all ended on like a 66-yard touchdown pass wheel route to J.K. Dobbins or something like that. He like beat Sauce Gardner, so like, it makes no sense. But those
But
wheel
that was a
routes
good
are
game.
broken. It was, and we actually played again this year too, and it was another game just like that one. So if we have to play again, that's definitely gonna be a tough one. And so,
See,
and
the way G-Mac's defense is built, I think he has enough to keep up with you.
he does. The crazy thing
But
is, you would think our games would be lower scoring with our defenses, but both our games, I think in both games we scored over 40 points, definitely 30, both of
I was
us.
going to say, but the thing that gets you caught up with both of you, it's hard. Neither one of you make a lot of mistakes. And even in the video game, even if you know how to score, you're going to score. It's when you fuck
That's
up, that one fuck up get you, or that one animation where a bitch dives 7 yards, fucks up everything.
or you get that one like fumble that screws you or something.
Yeah, and they don't review it. You can't review it, and it's like, fuck. Like, the video game, like, I don't mean it in a bad way, but the video game is going to decide, I think,
Yeah,
both divisional games.
yeah, I agree with that. And so when the AFC, we said we think that well, we got the Danny's number 1 seed, so that would mean we said Sarv was going to beat the Browns, so Sarv goes down there. I think Nell beats. Um,
I think Nell and Sarv win.
and
Uh,
then
I think
with
Tillman probably will
I agree,
sweep
and
Mayo.
I agree with that. I mean, just Tillman's just unreal, and with guys like Tillman and BLD too, especially they always show up even more for playoff games. Like they always seem to save their best for the playoffs. So I
Yeah,
just don't see him losing, which
I
means
uh, I agree with you.
So that means we'd see Sarv versus Tillman in the divisional round, and then Nell going to Las Vegas to face his division rival Danny.
Nell
Which
beat the
that
shit out of Danny
oh
a
oh
couple games ago.
yeah.
Like,
So Danny's gonna come
which is
back ready to get
yeah.
revenge. Revenge game for the Raiders. And so I mean we got some interesting divisional round matchups then because we'll have Broncos versus Raiders and Bengals versus
Bengals and
Texans.
Texans.
Which I mean, God, the divisional round games. That means we'd
And I think
see.
didn't Sarv play Tillman earlier with Cho Dickey?
I think you're right. Let me go look at the schedule real quick.
Which
Let me
I
go
mean
look
that'll
at.
be yeah. I'm over here now.
Let's go look at that. Oh, not standings. Need schedule. Um.
Yeah. Well, no, but he won 52-37.
Oh, are you serious?
I want to say it may have been Zach Wilson's first game back.
Yeah, that may have been it. It might because Zach Wilson got hurt versus me week 1 and was out for like 8 weeks. So yeah, I think it was Zach Wilson's first game back. So again, we
Yeah,
will
so
have
that'll be a good one.
two rematches in the divisional round. We'll have Raiders versus Broncos and Bengals versus Texans. So those are going to be two really good games. Who
Yeah.
you got in those? What you thinking in those games?
I think it stays fit. I think Nell and Sarv both have proved. I mean, they're a couple touchdowns better, at least this year. I mean, it changes yearly. I mean, and they have either added or, you know what I'm saying, or the Texans and the Raiders may have lost a piece or two. But I mean, the way Nell's team is together now, I think him and Sarv both
And
move on.
I think I'd agree with that, especially when I look at Nell's team. Him adding Lamar has just completely added another dynamic that he didn't have before that. I mean, I know he had Josh Allen before, but his offense just seems to be way better with Lamar.
Yes,
Um, so, and the thing I think what helps Nell versus Danny specifically is his secondary. When you look at some of those guys with Simmons back there and some of the other ones, I know Danny's always tough. You could argue both ways for both those guys to win. Um, I think the big thing is if Danny turns the ball over, if Danny, which he is susceptible to doing, and Anthony Richardson can miss throws, whether it's with Danny or
yeah.
not. I think that's what ends up ultimately deciding the game is a missed throw or two by Richardson and a Simmons pick or somebody else in that Broncos secondary, and Nell moves on.
I think
Um,
Lamar's going to do it with his. I think Nell will beat Danny with his legs more, Lamar's legs more than his arm in this
I can
game.
see that. And so we both got Nell moving on to the AFC Championship. And then you said Star versus is going to beat Tillman.
Yeah, I believe so.
This game is so interesting to me because they're both longtime users in the league. I think they've played each other quite a few times throughout that time. And I see this game is very hard for me to pick. I could see either one winning this game, but I think with the way he's been playing with Higgins and Chase and having Zach Wilson there, and he's got Woolen in the back end and some other guys Sarv does. I just don't know if Tillman's offense is good enough to keep up with his, and I think that's what makes the difference. So I think we pretty much agree that it's going to be Nell versus
Yeah,
Sarv in the AFC Championship game.
I agree with you. And Tillman's been. I mean, is with all due respect, I don't know him. I don't think I've played him yet, but this year I think he's had a couple of random losses where you don't expect it. Like Stubbs beat him.
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, nothing against Stubbs. Stubbs is a great user, but he's not that Tillman level guy.
Yeah, and so it's like he's been a little up and down.
And then,
But like you said, they bring it in the playoffs, so we'll see.
so we'll sit them in the AFC matchup. We got Broncos versus Bengals, the 1 and 2 seed. I know it's easy to pick the top two seeds, but they're those seeds for a reason. Or no, Nell would be the 5 seed actually.
And that
Never
would be the
mind.
five.
No, so 2 and 5. Never mind. Brain fart right there. There's 2 and 5 seed, but Nell could have easily been the 1 seed. And it's not your
Yeah,
typical 5 seed.
not at 13 wins.
Then we move back over to the NFC. We'll have BLD versus Sire, Saints 49ers versus me and GMAC, Giants and Bears. Um, Another great set of division round matchups. I mean, these playoffs are going to be fun. They're going to be fun to watch.
Yeah,
Um, so let's start with BLD versus Sire. Of course, I haven't seen Sire yet. So you may know better than me talking about him. Of course, we all know about BLD. But again, this is the guy that BLD said he was the most scared of, the guy he didn't want to face in the playoffs. Of course, he knew it was going to come to this. What do you see happening here?
I think Sire's a year too early. When I say that, I mean this isn't that team as constructed. I don't. Again,
Mhm.
uh, Sire's good. I mean, really good. But I mean, I don't think they have enough firepower to do anything with, that Saints secondary. I mean, right now, I mean, you got DeAndre Swift in the backfield, Zaire White. His biggest threat out wide is going to be Brandon Ayuk. Now him and Rashad Bateman.
Let's go look at
You know,
Sire's roster real quick. I think we all kind of know
and
BLD's.
yeah, and he
Okay,
does a
so
good job. We'll say he does a good job of using his tight end.
mhm.
Normally, he's
But
in that split back tight end set, and that's a staple of Sire's.
he's got this
No,
rookie Rashard Borges or something like that. He looks pretty solid
91
too.
speed, something like that.
Yeah. But his tight
He's
end's
good.
just what is it? Shoemaker? Is this probably a starting tight end? I mean that's not a bad tight end right there. 85 speed, 89 acceleration. So
Yeah. The issue's gonna be though, the Sire defensively too, keeping up. Now you've got
Trayvon Walker's
Care
nice.
Elam.
He's got Trayvon Walker too on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
He's got some dudes, but I still just don't
his
see it.
his linebacking core sucks though.
Yeah, and when
Yeah.
you're not sliding, I mean, so you're gonna be in a nickel or a 3-5 or 3-3. Yeah, yeah, stopping Tony Pollard outside is your main thing,
Yeah.
and then he cuts you the fuck up
And he
in the
he
back
doesn't
end.
he doesn't have no outsiders either with Walker, I don't think, which also is killer if let's go check that. Yeah, no outsiders or anything like that. So, I
No,
mean,
and
and he
you
doesn't
don't,
have
and
someone who's running with Waddle either. Like no one, he doesn't have a DB who's gonna keep up with Waddle.
he didn't
Not
have
no
one that's going to keep up with
Tooney.
the with yeah,
Let's go.
Kadarius Tony. So I mean, if you look like that, that's ugly.
And I mean, if you go look at BLD's team, is just unreal. So I mean, I
Yeah,
agree with you on that.
and on top of that, we all know that abilities matter a lot. This Madden,
They do.
you don't have you don't have. He has one ability up front. That's all.
Oh,
That's all he has.
oh, and
He's
BLD popped this tight end too. So that he traded for
no,
a
he
rookie
didn't.
tight end from the Dolphins, and he's superstar now,
Buford,
22 years old. Yeah, Buford. Um, and he's
Burford,
got
Jesus,
short out elite, which is
a pain in the ass.
One of BLD's favorite routes too, especially with tight ends. So, um, I mean,
And I
yeah,
mean, shit. Where are you gonna? What are you gonna? Where you
Sweat's
got
a
Chase
super
outside?
Sweat's a superstar. Chase the X Factor.
No
Dexter,
outsiders. Like, oh my god, Dexter Long. I
that's
forgot he had
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
that's
he got that
inside
shit for a
stuff.
peanut butter jelly sandwich in a pack of
He did.
Newport.
He did.
The fuck?
One pack of fucking Newports too. That's terrible.
He's got inside stuff. Like, I mean, unpredictable El Toro under pressure. Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. I
No.
think Sire's team. I think user ability is pretty equal. To
There.
be honest,
There.
I think it's pretty close. I just think that the roster the rosters are going to make the difference here, where BLD's team is just better. And, that's what also makes BLD so good, is that he's able to build such great rosters.
Quick.
Um,
This is a fucking year. This is one fucking season.
and they're young too. And he just traded his franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's
I mean,
he's
shit. You're not getting by Alontae Taylor.
no 99 speed, 99
Yeah.
acceleration.
Brendan Eccles. Yeah, okay, bitch, sit down. See, these motherfuckers ain't blind though. I got a couple of these bitches that are blind as fuck. But I mean, see, but that's the thing. Like, you're not. I mean, you don't. You have. And again, what abilities does he have? Like,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
abilities do the Niners possess? And it's not a user thing. It's just the fact that there are zero
The
abilities
that roster
that
just isn't
can
on
help you.
par just yet with the
Yeah.
Saints roster.
No. The one thing that
So
might save him is Jamal Adams being hurt.
now, how long is he out is the question.
3 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, then that could make a difference.
And but I only
So,
said that in the run game. But you got to have somebody run the fucking football. And I mean,
which
this.
so are
Oof.
we? I think we're both. I think it sounds like we're both picking the Saints to go back to the NFC
Yeah.
Championship game.
Yep.
So then it comes down to another rematch. We played last year in the divisional round in one of the craziest game like I was talking about, and then we also
Mm-hmm.
played this year. I beat them both times, but both of those games GMAC could have easily won as well. Um, so what do you think is going to happen in this game? Talking about,
I mean, I
you've
watched
played
some of it.
me.
I watched that game. Um, to be honest with you, I think I have to go with you since you won the last two, but it's tough. I mean, changed his gameplay some
Hmm.
um, to adapt. So I, I think I'll give you the nod, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes from nowhere with a win either. Because both of you are really good users. I think the difference, going to be up front for you,
Hmm.
um, because I'm not sure he's, you know, got enough again abilities or anything up front um,
To
to
counteract my
withstand. You know
guys.
what I'm saying? Some of your pass rush,
Hmm.
and you got Reddick and Gary, which are fucking dudes. He's got. Let me see.
I don't know, on the O line or.
Yeah, I'm looking at both fronts. In O line, he's got Tyron.
Mhm.
Um, so I still give the nod to you. But then inside, you've got a 69 guard, which I'm pretty sure who he runs, Jaron Christian, who shout out play to TC. Um, but I mean, he'll be okay. He's got some very tough. I mean, he'll be decent, but it's still not.
Mhm.
I don't think he. I don't think he has enough. No. Ah. Uh,
Our rosters
yeah.
are
Your
actually, I
rosters are
mean,
pretty similar.
I would say they're evenly matched.
Yeah.
They're,
I mean, it's gonna come down who doesn't make more. Who doesn't turn the ball over.
and I think
Which I
that's
mean,
been
it's
the
pretty
difference in
cliche.
our last few games too. Whereas those turnover battles, and turning
Yeah.
those, and I mean, I know it's what everyone says. You got to win the turnover battle, and really turning it into points too.
Yeah.
I think that was the big difference last
I
game.
mean, what did I will say he takes more shots than you. So I mean, he's
He
prone
does.
to he may turn it over a little bit more just due to the fact that he throws a lot more. But then again, like I said, he may lean on his rushing game this game. So
Mm.
yeah, whichever one of you doesn't turn the ball over, but I'm gonna have to say you tonight.
And I'm not gonna pick it because obviously I would choose myself. A little bias being in the game, so that's why I
Yeah.
wanted you to talk about it. But so you have me moving on from this matchup.
Yeah, I would
So
definitely see you moving on from that matchup.
then we got in the AFC Championship game, we have the Broncos versus the Bengals, and of course, me and BLD have a lot of history. We spent like the past three Maddens in the same division. This is the first time we actually haven't been in the same division, and we'd be playing again in the NFC Championship game, and we also played this year. Um, I would be curious to look at if the Bengals and the Broncos have played each other.
Let's
Let's
have
go. Let
looking.
me go. Let me go check that real quick.
I was
Let's.
literally doing that now.
mm,
They played earlier and Nell won 31-6, but he had Cho Dickey.
Yeah, he had Cho Dickey, or he might not even have found Cho Dickey yet. Then it might have been some
No, he
other
had Cho
bum.
Dickey.
Oh, he did.
But
Okay.
yeah, Cho Dickey had 331 yards and 5 picks.
Yep, there it is, right there in the box score. So Nell had just gotten Lamar by this point. I didn't realize he got him that
Yes.
early. And
Yeah.
Brees Hall balled out for him this game.
Yeah.
Um,
20 carries.
let's go look at the rosters. I'm curious to see how those rosters stack up against each other. Once you get down to these matchups, when I feel like once you get down to the NFC and AFC championship games, the user level is somewhat similar. I mean, some of them might be
Yeah.
slightly better, but it really might come down to those roster spots and who's able to use their rosters best. So
Yeah.
with Nell having plus speed on his quarterback, he's got Lamar Jackson at 99 speed.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
ignorant.
unreal. That's just it doesn't even make sense. Now, of
No.
course, we all know what a problem Brees Hall can be. Um,
George Pickens.
yeah, George Pickens is nasty.
Yeah.
He's got some rookies too. I don't know if he uses them much at all though.
Uh, no.
I'm sure he's mostly
Um,
sticking with Pickens and Dotson.
yeah. And Schultz, because he does love his
But
tight end too.
I will say, just looking at the offenses and kind of knowing what Sarv has, I think Sarv does have the edge, just roster wise on offense.
Yeah. He might have it on defense too, because you got Clowney and Dietrich Wise starting outside for you.
And then you got DJ Jones at defensive tackle. Fuck, I'm not gonna lie, how is Nell? Tip my cap to
Flip
Nell
it
with for his fucking
because
record
you
this year with
go
this.
to outside
Uh,
linebackers
yeah. Joey
and you'll
Bosa,
see
okay.
why.
Joey Bosa, there you go. All
Yeah.
right. And then you got his middle linebackers are solid too. N'Kobe Dean's
N'Kobe
probably
Dean is elite,
yeah,
and he's a problem. Nell does great with his backers.
96 acceleration too at linebacker is no
Yeah.
joke. And then
Chandler Jones out here too.
he's got to be starting Curtis as well, who looks like a beast,
Yeah.
6'4", 235. Just unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chandler
And
Jones, I
then,
mean, one of those
uh,
vets who will go make a play for you.
yeah. No.
That
Secondary.
secondary is suspect, though.
eh,
That
Ain't
secondary
it?
is suspect.
This is not it, Chief. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, Joey Porter's
But Justin
solid.
Simmons does lead. We all call that shit. But then I thought about it. Justin Simmons is a dude,
Justin Simmons
and
is a problem, and he has pick
yeah,
artist and mid
yeah.
zone KO, and
So he can sit over top. I mean, and
so
they'll. I mean, shit. Yeah, no smart. So
and
that
Justin
cover three.
Simmons just always seems to be in the right spot. And if you look at it right now, if the boost stays on here, he's got 99 play recognition and 99 awareness.
Awareness.
So
Yeah. So
I mean, that could make the difference if Sarr's trying to force the ball to Chase or Higgins in a
yeah.
situation, or Wilson misses a throw and Simmons just is right there.
Yeah.
Um, who's a strong safety? His strong safeties aren't
Javon
that great
Curse.
either. Yeah.
No. Okay.
So
I mean,
let's go
they're not
check out the
blind.
Bengals.
You,
No, they can make a play.
yeah.
So you got Zach
Uh,
Wilson, two top 10 quarterbacks in the AFC over here, Cho
that's
Dickey
wow.
and
Show
Zach
Dickey
Wilson.
going to level up
Cho,
next Madden.
Uh,
All right.
this is, you got to think about who in Madden put this together. Someone had a little laugh when they put this dude
Yeah.
out there. Like, there's no way this was randomly generated. Cho
No.
Dickey,
Show
Asian
Dickey
from
quarterback
Harvard.
from Harvard.
There's no shot that was just random.
Yes. Someone in program has lost their job. Now, Sarv is funny because Sarv has been using Kalen LeBourne,
Yes, and he is nasty.
and he is ignorant. He took him off my practice squad last season
Are you serious?
I swear to God, like a 65. I was like, yo, you took Kalen. He was like, trade me back. I was like, no. And now this bitch is killing people with him. Has Joe Mixon even carried the ball once
I'm going to look at Joe
this year?
Mixon's stats real quick.
He's got 6 carries
6 carries for 16 yards.
for
I
16
will
yards.
say, I will say that may have been a smart move because Joe Mixon's solid, but he's not all that this year. I mean, in
Yeah,
Madden.
but no, he hasn't touched the ball at all.
Uh,
So maybe Saul
uh,
breaks him out in the playoffs.
he's just been
Just thought.
saving them, saving, resting
Yeah, I don't.
those
I mean, I
legs.
don't. Shit, he ain't. Well, we know he might as well use him now because Chubb still has legs after going 565 carries and shit.
And then here's
Um,
the big problem here. You got Jamar
Jamar
Chase,
Chase,
T. Higgins,
shit.
97 speed, 98 acceleration,
Yeah, and then T Higgins is a
99,
problem.
99 catching, 99 catching in traffic, 99 spectacular catch,
Spectacular catch,
99,
99
all
short
99
route.
route running,
Jesus,
just unreal, just a
97
glitch.
release, 98 jump.
Mm, Just
I mean, God.
yeah, I mean, how do you stop him? And he's only
Yeah, I don't know about
24.
that.
He's only 24.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, he's got a hell of a receiving core.
It's almost like you just hope that you limit him. Like if you're gonna beat
Yeah,
the Bengals, you just got to find a way to limit Jamar Chase. But then you can just go right to T Higgins, who's also a stud.
yeah. And then
Ac-
also he's got Kaseki.
And for he has Robbie Chosen, not someone who you're super scared of, but he can make a play and take the top off
He,
the defense.
yeah.
So
You forget about him.
exactly, and then he hits you with that with a 50-yard reception. Then you're like, shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gesicki's a
Stars
problem.
is well put together, man. These Bengals are. I mean, and again, Stars started 2 and fucking 4.
Mm. Like the real life Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, this shit's well put together.
Aiden
Now this
Hutchinson
offensive
and
line.
Trey Hendrickson on the ends.
Yeah. So here's gonna be the problem. This line sucks.
His O line.
God, yes.
See, I never put too much stock in O line. Me personally, I know some people do. I just
But
don't
with
think it.
abilities, it's gonna be a problem when you got Bosa and a couple of other and a Bosa period. You
That's
know,
true. I mean, Bosa's a problem.
and then Bosa. I don't Yeah. But and Chandler Jones, I think, is the other rush guy. Yeah. So I mean, that 72 and 76 don't look too sweet.
And then um, let's
But
go
Sar's
look
put
at.
together.
He is. Let's go look at that defense. DeForest Buckner. Uh, of course, DeForest Buckner's a problem. So his
Yeah.
line is tough. I think he runs a 4-3.
But
So
then he goes at 3 front. He's got bottleneck with Jair and Tyreek Woolen. Sar's got one corner on his team under 5'10" that starts. He's long as shit in the back end too.
let's see. He's got Jair and Tyreek Woolen. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just looking at these rosters, I just don't know how. I mean, Nell's a great user, so again, you never know in these games, but that's that's tough.
I
Um,
mean, I think we go with Nell simply because he won the previous meeting.
so you're
And that'd
picking
be the
Nell?
tiebreaker for me. Yeah.
See, it's tough. Sarver's just been playing so well lately. I, he had Cho Dickey that game, so I think I'm gonna have to go with Sarv to go to the Super Bowl. I just think his team. I think Jamar Chase and Higgins and that offense is just gonna be too much. In the end, and
Yeah.
he'd be able to limit Lamar enough to go to the Super Bowl. So I got Sarv going, beating Nell, and taking to the Super Bowl. Okay. And then that brings us over to the NFC Championship game that we projected, which would be me versus BLD, a rematch from last year again. BLD beat me that game. He beat me pretty handedly. The first half was close. Started to press a little bit in the second, and he ended up taking it. We did play this year. I did beat him pretty handily. Um, I think it was like 36-6.
Yeah,
Um,
it was like
so I don't know. Again, I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'd rather hear what you have to say. Um, what do you think is going to happen in that matchup? I'm going to check out the rosters, of course. Um, I kind of know
I
my.
think it'll be a good game. I think he's gonna play his ass off for this
I think he's
because
been waiting for this one.
that's what. Yeah, I think maybe he's wanted this game more than most previous past.
I
But that quarterback situation could be a problem.
and I will say this: when BLD really wants to show up, he's going to be a tough customer. I mean, I know he says he's scared of Sire. Um, I think he doesn't want to say it. I think he knows I'm someone who could beat him, and I think
Hmm.
he also looks at it as. But I think he wants this game. Like I think he wants to play me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't see how this guy isn't better than
Malik.
Malik.
I know it's weird. I think it's
Uh,
the throw power. I think it has to be the throw power. I don't know. I mean,
hmm.
he just seems, but it's not like 92 is bad.
No, but it's 10 times better than Malik. So I don't know what the hell's
It's,
going on with that. That
and
would
it's
bother
not.
me.
His
Tony
accuracy is not
Pollard's going to be
bad.
a problem.
He is the one thing that helps me is I have no outsiders
Yeah,
versus
you're
Pollard.
good. So he kills a Waddle, but you have corners that match up
I do
and
have
that
corners.
safety. And you play a good mix of zone and man. So you're not gonna have a whole lot of he's not gonna be able to have a whole lot of wide open lanes for Waddle. Tony's gonna be a damn problem. I don't know how he creates so well with him,
He does. He's really good at
but
those crossers.
yeah, he's a problem. I think was this kid Pop when you played the first time?
No, he was not. I think he had just traded for him, um,
Yeah.
which could make a difference.
Yes, I think that some of this is. And how's this bitch wearing this at 91? Damn.
I know.
No, he's got a left tackle out. That could be an issue.
That's true.
Nope, he'll be back. He's out one
Okay.
week.
Oh yeah, so he'll be
He
fine.
always does this though. His line never is
I
the
don't.
his line is always the strongest motherfuckers he can find. The overall does not matter.
I see. I don't. If you look at my line, it's not great either. Um,
And then you
Chase.
guys are a push, I think, D line wise.
Yeah, he's just
Um,
faster with Chase and Sweat.
he's got another player out. No, he'll be back. Yeah, his linebacking core is pretty decent.
Yeah,
Simpson, he's elite
Simpson is
with. Like,
disgusting.
he's all over the fucking field. What's his abilities? Everybody has recuperation and tip drill. Yeah, so
Yeah, I got them.
Simpson's a problem.
Got Kenneth Murray, which is no
Kenneth
joke
Murray,
too.
nope.
And then that
And then it
secondary with
said Devontae
Henderson's
Taylor,
Avante.
Slay, Henderson, Eccles,
I mean, his
Mark
secondary is a
Davis.
problem.
Yeah, his secondary is elite. Um, I
Safeties
mean,
are. I mean,
safeties are a bit suspect.
Bell is nice though. Yeah,
Yeah, and Jamal Adams will be back
yeah.
then, so he'll be in the box too. I mean, that's
Bringing the
like I
lumber.
don't. I mean, obviously, I mean he's got more pieces in terms of since you played, he's added more. So I
Like
mean,
this is
you've
I got
you've got your
Ritter,
work cut out for you.
Amara, Godwin, and Thornton and Gordon.
Yeah, the way you've been able to
Um,
use Kamara, that definitely is a problem.
Fant is one of them. Um,
Um,
but if
I
you look,
think the line's a little bit better than his. Um,
big things are my linebacking core is where I'm really stacked at.
Yeah, you having Gary and Walker and
Reddick.
Brooks and Reddick. I mean, you got some major problems, and you can stay in a 3-4 and be fine.
Yes.
Um, and that's something that's really difficult to do in this game.
And then Horn
Your
Downs.
safeties aren't, you know what I'm saying? Well, then you got Pemberton. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Pemberton and
mean, see,
Hill are my starters. Eddie
yeah,
Jackson is actually only touches the field in a dime look.
yeah. I mean, so I mean, you're loaded. So I mean, both of you guys, I mean, have a pretty good fucking team. I mean, I
I
think
mean, there's
I'm gonna lean on you having the win earlier. I think plays a role in it. I think you may have it may help or harm you, but I think it may do
it's
more help, and I think you probably pull it out.
I mean it's a tough so you it's interesting the matchup. There's just between me BLD there's just so much history. Um so much going into we played last year and in the playoffs he always shows up, but you're picking me.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, but it also
But
creates good locker room shit too. Because if
give
they see I gave it to you, he's gonna be pretty pissed.
he's gonna go in there laughing. Oh, can you believe this? Because he did a
Yep,
podcast with them.
receipts.
Receipts, keep and pin that too. Just like in our little argument, he's gonna be pinning those messages.
No, I mean I fucks with both y'all, man.
And
I just think I
and
think it'll be a good game though.
an emoji gate. um, so in your scenario, it would be me versus Sarv in the Super Bowl. I
No, I
think.
said you versus Nell. You
Oh,
pick
you
Sarv.
mean yeah? It'd be Sarv.
Yeah,
You'd be me versus Nell. In your version, who do you got?
yeah. Have you all played before?
We had never played.
And I don't know. I
Just kind of
mean,
pick them, like
I, I
whatever.
it'd be a toss. I don't know.
Um,
Both of y'all are really good.
for my version, just because I'm not gonna pick myself, um, I'm gonna say that'd be BLD versus Sarv.
Hmm.
Um, and that's actually a rematch from previous Super Bowls. Um, I think that's a crazy matchup. I just think that BLD has the defense to offset Sarv's offense. And in that scenario, I think BLD comes out with a Super Bowl win number two. We may be looking at a dominant Saints cycle as usual, um, in my
I can
version.
see that too, though. Yeah, I can definitely see that too.
And and again, once you get down to those divisional games, really anything can happen. We're just kind of going based off of what we see and what we think. But especially with those users, I could easily lose to GMAX. Sire could easily find a way to beat BLD. And, same thing with the AFC where Danny could definitely beat Nell and
Yeah, or Tillman.
Tillman could definitely beat Sarv. So, I mean, anything can happen from there. But that's what we got for this podcast. So. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Our
Yeah,
we got our Super Bowl picks right there. I guess who, if you had to choose between me or Nell, who are you choosing? Just say who you know best, who you've played, who you picking.
I'd pro- I, I'd probably give it to Nell, simply because I mean I've seen him play more.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah,
with
I mean,
looking at his offense and how dynamic Lamar could be, I could see that. So, you got Nell winning the Super
yeah,
Bowl this year, and I
yeah. I would have Nell winning it.
got BLD. So that wraps up the podcast. Our first episode of Ricky and Young's Locker. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This probably won't be our last. We'll probably try to do a season preview coming up after the off season. Kind of talk about some of the things that happened in the playoffs, see if our predictions came true, um, and uh, and move it on from there. But yeah, it's the first episode done of Ricky and Young's Locker. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey, you have a good
Um,
one.
yeah, I'll see you guys. Also, one quick shout out to Young. Um, big thank you to you, man, for sending those baby clothes. If you guys didn't know, if you haven't seen the chat, uh, I have a baby on, a little girl on the way. Young is again talking about this community and how great people are in it. Sent me some baby clothes, so really appreciate you, man. Really
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
that, man. No problem.
But that's it. First episode of Ricky and Young's Locker. Have a good one, fellas.
Be easy.